softly spoken, with no strings tying you to me. I'm happy in your company with no emotion, 'cause my love deserves to be free.
Welcome to another day in Bree's World. What's up, gang? So today is going to be a story time about the time that I met this guy on BLK, met up with him, had sex with him, and yeah. So that's what we're gonna talk about. God, that's crazy. Anyway, before we get into the video, make sure that you like, subscribe, tap that bell to get notification every single time I upload, comment, and share. I love you guys. Thank you for the support. Let's get into this video. All right, gang, what's up? So, as I said, today is a story time about the time that I met up with this guy from the BLK app, and we hung out and we had sex, and that's how it went. That's pretty much the video. No, okay, so anyways, like I said, story time. So me and my boyfriend broke up, and like it's been kind of hard because like Christopher is out of town, and so like usually when Christopher would go out of town, like I was with my boyfriend. Well, since we broke up, like obviously I haven't really had anything to do, and like my sister lives in the same city as me, but like my sister works 3 jobs, so like she's always busy. So like I just be bored. I be wanting people to hang out with or whatever. So I got back on the little BLK app, honey, which I was on that before I met my boyfriend, well, my ex-boyfriend. So anyway, yeah, I was like, I guess I'll go back on BLK and like just kind of chill, kick it or whatever. Just whatever. So boom, I'm on the app, just scrolling, swiping and scrolling, honey. It's a bunch of men on there that you really just want to have sex, but I'm like, all right, whatever, because you know, I ain't trying to really have sex, but like I'm not trying to really be in nothing serious after just getting out of a serious relationship, so I'm just like, whatever. So this guy, his name is Daddy. Like that was the name, his name on the, like, that was his profile name, was Daddy. And like, first off, should have known when I seen his name that it was gonna be what it was. But anyways, so I seen it, like I noticed his little name, and he was kind of cute from his little pictures. I was like, oh, he look cute. So I like swiped or whatever, because I'm like, I mean, we can see what's happening, you know what I'm saying? We can see what's going on or whatever. So then boom, right? Like I swiped right, and when I swiped on him, it notified me that he had swiped on me. So anyway, yeah. He swiped right on me, I swiped right on him. So I was like, okay, he feeling me too, period, right? So I was like, all right. He feeling me, I'm feeling him. Boom. I was like, I rarely message people first on these apps, okay? Because like, honey, I don't take rejection well. And if I was to like message one of these little ugly ass boys and they be like, nah, sis, like, okay, so what you swipe on me for, right? I don't want to do that. So instead, I just be like, all right, let me go ahead and wait for them to message me. So like literally shortly after he messages me, shortly after we matched, he sends me a message. He's like, hey, baby. I'm like, hey. Hey. Hey, baby. Boom, he sends that. I'm like, oh, okay, he feeling your girl. So I'm like, hey, or whatever. I think I said like, hey, love, or something like that. And so he was like, how you doing? And I was like, good, or whatever. And then right after that, he said, I said, good, how about you? And he was like, what's your number? So I sent him my number. And when I sent it to him, like, at first, he didn't even, like, text. Like, it took a little minute before he texted me. So I sent a message back, and I was like, are you going to text me? And then right after I sent that, he texted me or whatever. And, like, yeah, as y'all can see, I had to retwist my little hair. Anyways, so he messages me or whatever. And he texts me, and he's like, hey, baby, it's something. I don't remember what he said, but anyway, he messaged me, and I'm like, all right, cool. Do hit me up. Might have me a friend. So Boom. We kind of texted. Well, then he was like, you should come see me or whatever. And I was like, I don't know. So, like, I was kind of sketched. Because, like, okay, so though he looked cute from his pictures, like, in his pictures, it's not like you could truly, like, see him that well, for real. But, like, from what I could see in the picture, he looked like he was attractive. So I was like, okay, going for it, right? And y'all know, honey, like, when you break up, like, when you're getting out of a breakup and you're just trying to forget about that person, even though you know you love that person, and, like, you really ain't trying, like, you ain't for real trying to forget about that person, but, like, you know you and that person not about to get back together, so you're just like, man, anything to stop thinking about them. That was literally me. Like, I'm just like, I don't want to think about my ex. So that was why I got back on the BLK app in the first place, because I was just like, I don't want to be thinking about my ex right now. Like, I love him, but it's obvious that, like, we are not meant to be together, and it's a little bit heartbreaking. Like, I can't even lie to you, it's a little bit heartbreaking. So here I am, just trying to, like, not think about the fact that, like, I would much rather be laid up with my ex. Anyway, so me and dude are, like, texting, and he's like, I want to see you. And I'm like, okay. So I tell him to send me his address. So he sends me his address. I'm like, okay. And I was like, why you can't come to me? He was like, send me your address. So I sent him my address, and then, like, we was talking or whatever. And I said, like, if you come to me, like, I could cook. Like, if you come, I can cook or whatever. And he was like, he said, what you gonna cook? And I said, don't matter, like, whatever you want. And I sent another message. And so he wasn't texting me back. And my messages weren't delivered. No, I said that. Well, then we started talking about, like, Christopher's dad. His sperm donor, not his dad. Because as y'all know, Christopher has a dad, and then he has his sperm donor. Like, he has the man he calls his dad, then he has his sperm donor. So anyway, like, we're texting about that, and I'm, like, telling him, he's like, is your son's dad in his life? So, like, when I first meet people, I don't tell people the situation about, like, Christopher having a dad and a dad, like, having a sperm donor and a daddy. I don't tell people that at first. Like, if we decide we're gonna get serious and, like, be together, then you need to know about that, because, like, you're gonna be a part of our situation. But if we just having sex, or we just talking or whatever, like, you don't need to know everything about my son. But, like, he was asking me questions about Christopher's dad, and I was just telling him, like, why Christopher's dad isn't in his, like, how Christopher's dad walked out, and how, like, Christopher's dad, you know, isn't really in his life, blah, blah, blah. And, y'all see my little braid? That's what I keep messing with, because, like, yeah, anyway. So, like, we're talking about that, boom. Well, then Christopher, or no, we keep talking about Christopher's dad, and, like, we were talking about something, and he didn't text me back, and my messages weren't delivering. So I was like, okay, something is fishy. Like, as soon as we start talking about my baby daddy, like, my messages stopped delivering. Like, you're not texting back. So, like, me, I'm getting suspicious. Like, I'm like, so then I'm like, I'm not really trying to go see this man, because, like, I feel like he ain't who he say he is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, I don't really think that he is, like, this person that he is claiming to be. Like, this person is just trying to, like, see me and get to know me or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not coming. Well, I don't tell him that I'm not coming, but, like, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not coming. Like, in the back of my mind, that's what I'm telling myself. I'm like, yeah, no, we is not going. I'm not going for it, right? That's what I'm telling myself. Like I said, that's what I'm telling myself in the back of my mind. Like, yeah, no, I'm not going. Got me bent. I'm not about to do this. Like, I'm crazy, but I ain't that crazy. So, like, at this point, he finally texts back, and he, like, is explaining that he is in the middle of something, and that's why he hadn't texted me back or whatever. And so, like, part of me is like, okay, like, maybe, like, he could very well be telling me the truth, right? Like I said, just part of me. Like, there's part of me who's like, okay, maybe he's telling the truth. But then there's another part of me that's like, girl, nah, this man is lying, because that's what niggas do, they lie. So the part of me that thinks that he's lying is like, girl, you don't need to go. Like, you don't need to go see this man. So in the process of him, like, not texting me back, I decide to like Google this address that he gave me that he said was his address, right? So like I Google it or whatever. Sorry, y'all. So anyways, I Google the address because, like I said, at this point, like I'm not really believing that he is like who he's trying to say he is. So I Google it and I'm like, because the address says it's Cumberland University. So in my mind, I'm thinking like either this man gave me a fake address or like he in college, like it's got to be something. And so it's like, if he in college, like that's cool and all, but like I ain't trying to be sleeping with you in the dorm room and like you got roommates and shit, right? So I'm like, because I got a whole apartment. So it's like, baby, if you in college, just say that. And we can do this another weekend when you can like come to me, because I'm not trying to be in no apartment. I'm not trying to be in no dorm room, baby. I ain't never had sex in a dorm room. I had sex in a dorm room once my freshman year before I moved back to ETSU when I was at Carson Newman. Because at ETSU, I stayed on campus, but I stayed in the apartments. So, boom. Anyways, so I'm sitting here like, yeah, see, nah, he playing. So I'm like, I'm not coming. Like, once again, that's what I'm telling myself in my head. Like, I'm not going. Well, then, y'all, the man, like, finally messages me back, and he's like, sorry, I'm busy, blah, blah. And I'm like, bro, you sent me a fake address. He said, I swear to God, it's not a fake address. So then he sends me his location. He's like, here, does this make this better for you? And I said, I mean, I guess. Like, it's still pulling up the same thing, but it's a little bit better because you gave me, like, your actual location. So, like, in the back of my mind, like, part of the reason that I was kind of freaked out is because, like, my son's sperm donor is known for, like, making fake pages on, like, BLK, POF, Tinder, stuff like that, just to send me messages. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, this gotta be him. Well, then he like had asked me to send pictures. So I had like send pictures, like he was like full body pictures. So I sent like some pictures that I had taken of myself, like not nudes or nothing like that. Don't y'all be thinking nasty. But like I sent him some little pictures of me. He was like, man, you beautiful. And I was like, yeah, I ain't got no fat ass and like I got a belly or whatever. And he was like, you look good to me. Boom. So I'm kind of feeling myself because like, okay, you think I look good? Yeah, thank you. And like I said, he was cute. So when I told him to send me a picture, he sent me a picture. And I'm like, yeah, he cute. So then my sister needed to go grocery shopping yesterday. And I told her that we could go grocery shopping together or whatever. So we go to the grocery store. And like he was like, are you going to come? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to come. He was like, when should I expect you? And I was like, well, I got to take my sister to the grocery store. And I was like, I'm going to just get on the highway after I take her to the grocery store or whatever. So, yeah, we go to the grocery store and like we're walking around. Mind you, I done told my sister that I'm going to the Cheesecake Factory with this dude who asked to take me out on a date because I couldn't tell my sister, like, I'm going to go to Nashville to hang out with this dude. Which I really went to Lebanon. So, like, I ain't go all the way to Nashville. Like, I was right outside of Nashville. Anyway, that's beside the point. Ain't got nothing to do with the story, y'all. So, anyways, boom, we finish or whatever. She get her little groceries. And, like, I'm like, all right, I love you. I'll see you later. Boom. Hop on the highway. And I'm driving or whatever. And it's dark. And first of all, y'all know I don't like to drive. Y'all know I damn sure don't like to drive in the dark. But I'm driving. And as I'm driving, I'm sitting here like, girl, bro, this is stupid. Like, part of me is like, you don't need to do this. But then another part was like, girl, YOLO. Because Chris, like I said, Chris was out of town. She wants somebody to hang out with or whatever. I mean, if it becomes something more, it becomes something more. But, like, I'm not going into kicking it with nobody with the expectation for it to be something more. So, anyways, boom. I'm like, all right, driving. Well, then I call my little sister because I'm like, I need to talk to somebody. It's like I'm telling her what I'm doing. And my little sister's like, girl, you... So, fast forward, boom, I get into Lebanon. Now, I'm still on the phone with my little sister. And I'm like, girl, it done brought me to the parking lot of the damn school. And my little sister's like, oh, maybe he's a professor. And I was like, girl, no. I don't think that's that. And my little sister was like, oh, maybe he is in college. And I was like, maybe, honey, but why he ain't say that? So then I text him and I'm like, I'm here. And he was like, where you at? And I said, I'm in the parking lot. And he was like, okay, come out the parking lot, turn, boom. He guides me to his house. So I'm like, oh, okay. So you stay close to this. All right, that makes sense. That makes sense. So boom, I get to his little house, and like I'm in the car still, and like I'm talking to my little sister, and my little sister's like, oh my god. So like I tell my little sister, like, girl, if I text you and I say pineapples or I need pineapples, it's 911 emergency, call me immediately, I'm scared, da da da. If I text you and say apples, everything good. So my little sister was like, all right. So boom, before I got out the car, she's like, listen, if you don't hit me up by 12 o'clock, then what's up? So mind you, my little sister stays in Greensboro, North Carolina. I was in Lebanon, Tennessee, which is in Central Time. My sister is in Eastern Time. So what was 12 for her was 11 for me at that time. So anyways, honey, he's like, hey, yeah, pull up, like, are you coming inside? Come on. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I got out the car. He gives me a hug, and I'm like, oh, can I use your bathroom? I'm on the phone with my sister. He said, yeah. So I go use the bathroom. I tell my sister, like, all right, girl, I'm going to let you know what happened. So boom, come out the bathroom. We chilling. We sitting on the bed talking or whatever. And I'm nervous because I'm always nervous when I meet new people. I love to meet new people, but I get nervous to meet new people. So like we talking or whatever. And like we had talked about like, you know, we just going to chill and drink or whatever. So he goes downstairs to get the bottle, and like we take a shot, and he kind of put some Mountain Dew in it for me, which was lit because I was not prepared to take a shot straight. But then after that, like I just took my shot straight. I ain't had no chaser or nothing. So like we sitting there, and like we took a little shot, we chilling, and he was like, so what you want to do? You watch a movie or we can play Uno? I was like, oh, let's play drunk Uno so I can beat your ass right quick, right? So boom, playing drunk Uno. Now baby, anyways, we playing drunk Uno or whatever, and like I mean he talking to me, and first of all we hell y'all done got tongue tied. All right, so earlier that day I told him like, oh, you didn't even want to FaceTime me or nothing. So he was like, I mean, we can FaceTime. So boom, we FaceTime. He like, I don't really like to FaceTime, but he got on the phone and he said, hey baby, and I was like, what you say? I was like, what? And I was like, what did you say? And he was like, I said, hey baby. And I was like, where you from? And he was like, I'm from Nashville. And I said, you ain't no Nashville nigga. He was like, yeah, I am. I was like, you was not from Nashville. He was like, yeah, I am. I was like, no, you're not. You're lying. You're not from Nashville. And the reason I knew he wasn't from Nashville is because I had a friend who went to Tusculum, and he was from New Orleans, and he used to talk like that too. Like every single time that we would talk to him, he'd be like, I'm from New Orleans. And then we would like ask him certain stuff, and he would call me like baby girl, and he'd be like baby girl. So it's like, boy, I know you gotta be from Louisiana. Like that's what I'm thinking. Well, actually, I wasn't even thinking it. Like I couldn't put my finger on where it was. Like I couldn't remember where it was from. But I was like, bro, I've heard that accent before. Boom. Back to the story. I just had to give y'all a little disclosure so y'all know. So back to the story. We talking or whatever. We chilling, watching a little. We playing a little game, and then like it was dare Uno. So like I dared him to take a shot. Or I dared him to take 2 shots. And he was like, I'll take one now, one on demand. Then he dared me to take 2 shots. And he was like, take one now, take one on demand. Well, then it was dare again for him because I threw down a little dare card. And so I was like, I don't know what to dare you. And so we was like talking and laughing and whatever. We was like, oh, and then we turned on Criminal Minds. I was like, you like Criminal Minds? I love Criminal Minds, blah, blah. So we're sitting here talking or whatever. Well, then, y'all, I'm like, oh, I dare you to take a titty shot. Now, I didn't really know what a titty shot was. I had just seen somebody do it on Snapchat, and I was like, you can do a titty shot. And he was like, how do you do it? And I was like, I don't know. And he was like, I don't know either. So then I was like, okay. I was like, you don't know? I don't know. So he was like, Google or YouTube it. I was like, yes. And he was like, YouTube got everything. So boom, I get on YouTube. I'm looking for it. Well, then, like, I don't find that on YouTube. But he was like, do you do YouTube a lot? And I said, oh my God, I have a YouTube channel. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah. So we turn on YouTube and we're like watching a couple of my videos. Well, then I'm like, okay, you can take your titty shot now. I said, you just put the cup in between my titties, and then you like got to take it, you grab it and you throw it back. Boom. He was like, okay. I said, but what if you get liquor all over me? He said, I guess I'm going to have to lick it off. And I was like, so anyway, yeah, we ended up, I took my dress. I was like, oh my God, because I had a dress on. So I was like, oh, I gotta take my dress off. So I like take my dress off, and then anyways, not to go too into detail with y'all about what happened. So that's what happens, y'all. And like, boom, we end up having sex. So first of all, the sex was like, that's the best way to describe it. It blew my mind. Like, it was wow. Like, that's all I can really say. Like, I don't know any other words to put with it. Besides the fact that it was amazing. Like, mind-boggling, amazing sex. And that's it. Like, that's all I can say, is that it was amazing sex. Anyways, like, it was just amazing. Like, how do you... So anyway, that happened, y'all. And then, like, we go to, or he goes and gets us food. Like, he was like, are you hungry? Shoot, my bad, y'all. But anyway, I was like falling asleep because, like, I don't know about y'all, but after I nut, I go to bed. Like, I be tired. So, he was like, are you hungry? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, cool, I'm gonna go get some food. So he goes and he brings back McDonald's. And, like, I really was hungry. So, like, I'm like, dang, that is lit. So, like, we eat or whatever. And I lay back down and I'm falling back asleep again. And he was like, hey, do you want to lay by the bed, like by the wall right here? And I was like, by the wall. He was like, cool. So I like slide over and lay by the wall and fall asleep. And he must have took my glasses off for me, because I remember I had them on because we was watching TV. So I think he like took my glasses off for me and set them on the table, which shout out to him for that. But anyway, so he did that or whatever. And so he must have took my glasses off for me, which was turn up for that. But then like, fall asleep, and then like we're like kind of laying, like we weren't really cuddling, but like I had my butt against him, and then like I rolled over to the other side to where like I was up against him, and like I had my leg wrapped around him, because like when I sleep, like I don't care who it is, if I'm sleeping with a person, like another human, I like to touch them. Like I have myself wrapped around them in some way. Even with my little boy, like I hold him close to my chest when we sleep together. So, like, anytime my little boy's in the bed with me, no, like, which my son is just like me. He sleeps the exact same way as me. He has to be touching you if he's in the bed with you. Like, he has to touch you. Weird. But anyways, so yeah. And then, like, I roll over and, like, I'm laying on my back. Or, no, I'm laying on my side, but my back's to him. And we're, like, okay, so anyway. So, like, my back's to him. And, like, I feel him kind of slide closer to me and, like, put his arm on me. And I'm like, oh. And then I feel it. So, boom, do it again. Go back to sleep. Wake up this morning, do it again, y'all. Ugh. The moral of this story is I met up with a guy from Louisiana who is an Omega on BLK. I drove 2 hours to hang out with this man, ended up having sex with him. And, yeah, now who knows what's going to happen. And the moral of this story, guys, is do not be me. Do not be me. Because then you're sitting there and you're like, that was really good. And you're trying to figure out, like, what's going to happen. Like, are y'all going to be together? Are y'all going to be friends? Did he actually, like you for real? Or did he just want to have sex with you? Like, is he going to make you his girlfriend? Is he going to make you his wife? Like, do not be me. That's the moral of this whole story. Don't be me. Because being me is so stressful. God, being me sucks. Like, seriously. The best part about being me is I have a really cute kid who loves me to death. Because everything else about being me is trash. Because, like, guys, how did I wind up in Lebanon, Tennessee with a man that I met on an app, on a dating app, having sex with this man? Like, can we talk about the fact that I'm having sex with this man? I had sex with him. And then, like, okay, so boom, we wake up or whatever, and like we did it, and he's like, oh, I gotta go to work. And I'm like, okay, cool. So like I'm putting my clothes on, and like he's putting his clothes on for work and everything, and then he's like, you ready, baby? And I'm like, so maybe you do really like me. Like maybe you do really like me, and we're like gonna kick it after this. Like we're gonna actually hang out again outside of this. Or maybe I just gave you really good sex, and like now you want to keep me around for the sex. Who knows? Because I didn't ask. Because I didn't have time. Like, we had to go. He had to go to work. I was trying to get home. Whatever. That's so besides the point of what I'm trying to tell y'all. So then, like, he's like, all right. He was like, drive safe. And I'm like, okay, bye. And so I get in my car. I pull off. I'm driving home. Listen to my music. I'm jamming. I don't even know what song I was listening to. But I was jamming, honey. And so, like, I'm halfway. I stopped at McDonald's to get food on my way home, and I talked to my mom and my son for a little while on my way home, and like told my mom, I lied to my mama too, and told her that I basically told my mom that I spent the night with a friend, tell her that I went and had sex with a man. Like, I couldn't be like, hey, I went and had sex with this man that I met on BLK from Louisiana, who's an Omega. How do I tell her that, right? So anyways, I don't tell her that part. I just tell her I stayed the night with a friend. We went and got drinks, which isn't technically a lie because me and him did drink, and I did need to stay the night because I was drunk. So technically I didn't lie. Anyways, I lied a little bit, but whatever. So anyways, I'm driving home, and like my text messages are set up to where they like don't pop up on my home screen, because when I was with my boyfriend or my ex-boyfriend, he set it up so that like my messages didn't pop up because he didn't want to see my messages. So he had that set up, and so like I don't get, like, I feel my phone vibrate, but it could be anything because I have a lot of different like group messages I'm in because of my business. So I go to like text somebody, and I see he texts me. He said, "You okay, baby?" And I was like, "Yeah, babe, I'm fine. I'm on the road." And it's like, dang, I call this nigga babe. Anyway, so I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, I'm on the road driving or whatever. And so then like I told him that I was gonna make a story time about this because like it's a juicy story time, honestly. And so I told him that I would send him that or whatever. Boom. So like we were still like messaging or whatever. Oh yeah, he was still messaging me. So it's like, you messaged me to make sure I was safe, and like we've been texting, and like I told him that I was gonna let him know when I upload the video so he can watch it. And like, yeah, so moral of the story, guys, I had sex with a man that I met on the BLK app. I drove 2 hours for it, and it was definitely worth the 2 hour drive. I'm not even gonna front to you, it was definitely worth the 2 hour drive. I would not take back driving those 2 hours. But don't be me, because being me means you, yeah, I don't know. Being me is crazy, because now I don't know what's gonna happen with this man. Pretty certain that we might end up like kicking it for real, but I don't know. So, as I said, moral of the story, don't be me. Do not be Gabriella. That's it. That's all you need to know. Just don't be me. But if you do choose to be me, understand that if you're going to drive 2 hours, they better make it worth your 2 hours. Shout out to him, because it was worth 2 hours. So, that's it. That's the story, guys, of the time that I met a guy off of BLK, had sex with him, drove 2 hours to have sex with him. Call me stupid if you may. But as I said, it was definitely worth it. And who knows? He may end up being my boo. Like, he may be the one. You never know. But there we are. Thank you guys for tuning in to my story time. Definitely make sure that you like this video, comment, subscribe to my channel, share this video, tap the bell so you get notification every single time I upload. I want to thank you guys. Shout out to Breeze World. We're at 152 subs. Let's try to get to 200 by the end of October. That means we got basically a month to get 200 subscribers. So y'all make sure y'all share. Tell your friends, your family, your cousins, aunties, uncles, mamas, daddies, brothers, sisters, best friend, enemy, whatever. Tell them to subscribe. I'm lit. Slick. I'm really lit. Actually, not even slick. I'm always lit. All right, no, for real though. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace out. I love y'all, and I will see y'all in the next video.
Seeing eyes of mine, what do you feel beside? I don't know where we're gonna fly like you did sometimes.